Okay, let's talk my manuscript wish list. There are things that I am definitely always looking for, and it is mostly things that I personally like. Because you, as an author, definitely want someone who connects with your material and feels emotionally attached so that they can champion your work. Sometimes an editor, they're just like a misfit. Think of it like dating. You want to find the right fit, not just someone who has the skills. And there's a lot that goes into that. So if I reject you and your proposal, know that that doesn't necessarily say anything about your work. You can still be an amazing writer, but I am the wrong fit for you. Keep that in mind. So if you get rejected, that's okay. If I feel like I know someone who might connect to your material, I can refer them to you. And maybe that will work out. And if not, there are many agents out there. I am not a literary agent. I do not represent you individually. I will not negotiate contracts for you with publishing houses. And that's what they do. They represent you as a person. I, as an acquisitions editor, decide if your book is a right fit for Carpe Vitam Press. Now, that does mean I'm going to work with you as best and as much as I can, because I want you to succeed. I want the press to succeed. If it is a right fit, we are in this together. We are co-workers. If I will give you opinions, but you as a writer don't necessarily have to listen to them. That's a great advantage of having a small press, is more creative say in your work. We want you to be happy with your final product. And we will do everything we can to execute your vision. So, the genres that are most applicable to me: in fiction, young adult, fantasy, and sci-fi. And I am particularly looking for books that have fresh takes, fresh ideas, new views. An author I highly recommend, Charlie N. Holmberg. She is the author of the Paper Magician series, the Numina trilogy, and many other books. Fresh ideas, wonderful ideas. Brandon Sanderson is also a fantasy writer that does a lot of very unique takes on fantasy, and those are the things that excite me. I like unique takes. There are classic pieces of fantasy, think like dragons, castles, knights, magic schools, and while those are wonderful, and you might be writing in something that includes that, those are not necessarily the ideas that will most excite me. So if you have a very interesting take, you have an interesting location, something new, something different that I can latch on to, I'm going to be very excited about your work. And I particularly focus on the young adult fantasy, though young adult sci-fi does also interest me. But what I mostly read and am most interested in is nonfiction. I love essays, memoir, comedy, really anything that has like a very niche topic that maybe you are an expert at and you know a lot about and you can educate me about in a fun, interesting way. Those are my favorite kinds of books. I love reading about just random topics, random research, just something I don't know anything about. That's very exciting to me, and that is something that I will connect with more often than not. My favorite authors are Samantha Irby. She writes comedic essays, super funny. David Sedaris does the same thing. Andy Weir is my favorite fiction author who does sci-fi. He wrote The Martian, Project Hail Mary, Artemis. Just very interesting, very unique, has a great voice, and just very refreshing. That's basically the gist of it. I love stories that are own voices, diverse, about LGBTQ, people, issues, things, anything like that. Just the pure human nature, heart, vulnerability will speak to me in ways that I will want to invest in and hopefully can help you develop into a final product. That is generally what I'm looking for If you have something that's maybe similar or almost there, like maybe tangential to what I've talked about or I have listed on the Carpe Vitam website, that still might work for me. I'm pretty open-ended. I will consider every submission I can as best I can and see if I am the right fit. And if I am, I look forward to working with you. Good luck, everyone.